The building we're in is Appalachian Groundswell, which is a stream mitigation business. So this space has been focused on streams in East Kentucky, mitigation, and how we offset some of the damage that has happened over the years with that. So it felt like a natural fit for this space to include the streams. We have been very fortunate in our work and our roles with Lacey Hale. We have not officially, but have jokingly referred to her as Cowan Community Center Artist Laureate.
Valerie Horn from Cowan Community Action Group, she contacted me and asked if I would be interested in doing a mural project behind their building, the old post office here in town. And it was like a retaining wall back there. And so I was like, sure, that sounds great. And so we talked about it, and they wanted it to commemorate the flood, but also honor the people here, the grit, the strength, and just the area in general. So they asked for it to include a stream and native flora and fauna from the area. And then she asked me if I could do it in Mosaic. And I was like, I guess I'll give it a shot.
This is the first time I've ever done one. Julian Holt is my intern. He'd never done one before. He's done, he's a painter and printmaker. He's never done one before. So we kind of had to teach ourselves how to do this, and then we had other people helping, other interns, so we had to teach them how to do it. So it's been a learning process. It's been really fun. It's very different than painting, though. We would have already had this mural done like last week probably if it was just painting, but the process is a lot more intricate because it's like putting a puzzle together all the time. So you gotta find the exact piece that's broken the right way to fit next to another piece, and then think about the color scheme of the pieces. And so yeah, it's been a lot of work. It's been very different.
I'm from here. I was born in North Carolina, but I moved to Wattsburg when I was 5. So I live about 10 minutes that way.
Being able to work with Lacey as an artist who I idolized coming up as a teenager in this little place, and being able to work with that. I know I had talked to my mom and my partner, the leading up to it, to my interview, I just want to be Lacey. I was like, I'm not really good anywhere else. I was like, this is the one thing I can do. It's been awesome to experience it and obviously get to do artwork, but also to be able to meet so many people, whether it be other interns or leads or staffs, or the big part of just people from the community and people who, I may have seen around and I've never known anything about it, but now I've had this very personalized interaction one-on-one with this piece of artwork. It's been a very enthralling experience.
I was thinking about all the different pieces that can go into a mosaic. And so as I was doing research, I realized, you can use some rocks, you can use jewelry, you can use broken ceramics. And so I mentioned that I had a mug of my dad's who passed away in 2008. And I got that mug and I used that mug and then I broke that mug. So I couldn't bring myself to part with the mug. And so I told Valerie that I had this mug of my dad's and I would like to put it in the mosaic. And so from that, it kind of grew into, wouldn't it be cool to ask people in the community to bring their own broken treasures to donate into this piece. It didn't really start to take off until I wrote a little piece and took a picture of my mug of my dad's that I wanted to put in there. And I think at that point it connected with people on a different level, and they're like, I could donate a piece of something that means a lot to me and contribute to this public art piece. So I put it out there and people started bringing pieces in. some people have just brought things because they wanted to have something in it. They're like, I saw this, I thought of this project. I want to be a part of it. There's been people who've brought their grandma's earrings, their mother who has passed away for 50 years, the bass that she had. My mom contributed a pick of my dad's because he played guitar.
We got birthday moon pies. There's one mini moon pies with your birthday. We also have lemon.
And blueberry is my personal favorite.
You want the next one?
I don't know. I'm picking.
And actually get one for Josh and whoever wants it.
Okay.
As far as the little giveaway, me and my dad, we like moon pies and RC. It's kind of obvious. And so I thought, on a day that's so horrific for everybody with all these bad memories, I just wanted to do something good and maybe bring a smile to somebody's face, even just for a second, and still keep my dad part of it. And so I just started giving away moon pies and RC on July 28th of 2023, and this makes my 3rd year doing it. And a lot of people, they'll stop by, we just ask what flavor, they'll take one, they'll take a RC. We usually try to get their picture with the sign. A lot of people we know, so they'll stop, we'll talk for a while. It's been really good because I've met a lot of people through this as well, and sometimes they'll sit and we'll just kind of exchange those flood stories and we'll talk, and it's kind of like a little healing process as well. I live next door, but I was staying by my mom because her health. She just passed away in December, but I was staying right with her that night, and it was about 1:30 maybe in the morning, and we was asleep, and I heard her coughing, so I woke up, and she said, "Lee, you better check that creek." And I said, "It's a creek, it ain't going nowhere." And I just like that. It went about 5 minutes, and it still raining. She said, "I'm telling you, you better check that creek." So I got up and looked, and when I looked out that window, it was already a raging river. So I just kind of stepped. I said, "I'm gonna go on the back porch. I'll be right back." She said, "Something wrong?" I said, "No." But I went out back, and it was just, it just started breaking loose and breaking the creek banks. And that's when my dad's big building. It was a big, almost 2-story. Really, it was a huge, rough lumber building. And it had the 100 crates in it, and all the pop bottles, a lot of his army uniforms, a lot of stuff he collected from foreman stuff to just everything. Hardback books, my dad collected everything. And it looked like me and my mom was standing there, and it looked like somebody just sat it in the water. Like it didn't fall apart. It just went by us and out of here. And, and eventually I'm sure it hit and busted, but it was intact. I know, going by. And it was the wildest thing. When I saw that go, because I knew how heavy just the building was, I knew that, this is going to be bad. There was 100 wooden crates, and each one had 24 glass pop bottles. And it's crazy because, like I said, we found 29 crates altogether, and just 1.5 bottles out of that. I have no clue. Well, I know Lacey, she's great. Anything she's a part of, I'm like, this is good stuff. So when she posted the picture of her dad's mug that was broken and she held on to, and she was putting it into it, that's what made me think about it. So I was like, I have Dad's RC bought it, because I had just put it up and I outbuilt and kept it. So I went out and I found it and unrolled it, and I was like, there it is. And so I messaged her and I was like, hey, can I bring this? And she was like, I would love to have that. And also a cup of Mom. So I took it to her and met her where she was working, and then she was able to actually somehow cut the RC with the glass perfectly and put it into the Mosaic. So it's right in there. So yeah, that's how that came about.
What does it mean to you being Kuya than that, Nura?
When I think about that, it's more than just me. I think about my mom and dad. That's the main thing, because they're both gone, and and I'm just like, it's just a little bit of keeping them alive. And I would rather, instead of me keeping that broken bottle and that cup put up, because I'm sentimental and so I just keep things, I've thought, well, why not put that out and just let them live for this mosaic and let other people know them through that. And I just want to share them with other people.
It's just an honor that they trust me with the pieces that they bring, and I hope I do them all justice.
It was a gift. My last day of work as an orthopedic rehab nurse on the Munich Fair, and the nurses, it's a gift from them, okay, that I work with. So to me, it's a gift of love from the angel. You know, nurses are like angels watching over us. That was very true. And this is such a neat ideal, and it will go on forever watching over. I think it'll watch over.
I love it so
Angels
much.
watching over.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll definitely. It'll be. Actually, the wings would be so pretty, and the kingfisher wings, don't you think? That texture.
Yes.
I think that'll be great.
And I love the little flower.
Yeah, that's so pretty. So I love it. What are we doing out here? It's hard to believe it's been a year, because it seems like it's gone by really fast. But we are back to the mosaic. We are finishing up putting on pieces. Julian's been working on putting most of the rest of the actual mosaic pieces on the wall. And then I am trying to grout, because it has to be grouted and then sealed. And then we're going to repaint the background green to clean it up. So there's still quite a few steps left. So we've got a lot of work to do.
I didn't think it would, affect me as much as it has. To me, when I first started, I was like, oh, it's my job. And, I'm just kind of here to do it, so forth and so on. And then I started getting to read a lot of what people were saying with their stuff, what they were dropping off, and then getting to sort of be the executioner of it, break it, and then have to put it on a wall was like a little revelation. And, it's like, there's so much memory in the stuff that these people are bringing, and so much sentiment, and it's like an emotional bomb. There's just so much sentiment and love and so forth and so on that's stored in each of these that I guess it's sort of just seeped into my subconscious. It's been way more than just leisurely fun to put together. It's we're cut all to pieces and hot and sweating and covered in grout and then set, but I mean it's been so great. It's been nothing but labors of love.
I think that anytime a piece like this can happen, it's showing that art can be healing, it can be therapeutic, it can beautify a space, this gray concrete wall. So it can really add interest. People come down and take photos with it. They are just proud to have it and be part of it. And with this one in particular, with the stories included, it's like an archive of the community and what they found important and beautiful.
It's not just pieces of glass and pieces. I mean, these are people. These are people's families. And every piece has a story. And then it just connects and it flows together, and it's making this whole new story of everyone. And I think it's beautiful.